Or I set a task for ChatGPT to find the most suitable Bollinger Bands period for identifying reversal points in the gold market. There is an additional special condition that it must be used in conjunction with the Pinbar to increase accuracy. The question is, what period will ChatGPT suggest, and when tested in reality, what will the results be? Is it just a theory, or can it actually be profitable as before? Friends, don't just believe me, but trust in statistics, because this is the only place where we provide statistical backtesting results for every trade, continuing from the previous clip I provided. A method to help find the EMA value that can decisively beat the market alongside the EUR/USD pair. For those who haven't seen it yet, I'll leave a link in the top right corner. But this week, we're moving on to something heavier, which is gold on a 15-minute time frame. I've set a task for ChatGPT to find the most suitable Bollinger Bands period for identifying reversal points in the gold market. There is an additional special condition that it must be used in conjunction with the Pinbar to increase accuracy. The question is, what period will ChatGPT suggest, and when tested in reality? What will the results be? Will it be just a theory, or can it actually generate profits as before? Friends, don't just believe me, but trust in the statistics, because this is the only place where we provide statistical backtesting results for every trade and every shop. And here are the Bollinger Bands periods that ChatGPT recommended. What values did it suggest? Let's take a look together. It recommended periods starting from 10, 14, 20, and the furthest being 50. These are the period values, and 2, as recommended by ChatGPT, is the standard deviation value, which is also part of the Bollinger Bands. The values chosen start from 2.0, which is said to be the standard, then 2.5, and 3.0. The reason I chose a period of 50 for this test is because I like to observe the major trend. During sideways markets, I think the response should be minimal, or there should be fewer false signals. The time frame we are playing with is a small time frame, specifically a 10 time frame. Minutes. So I use a longer period. Let's work together and see. I'm not sure what the results will be either. Next, the standard deviation value for those who have used Bollinger Bands will already have options to choose from. The size of the band will vary according to the deviation value. If the band is narrow, it will have a smaller deviation value. Conversely, if the band is wide, it will have a larger deviation value. Therefore, I use the same theory in choosing, which is that we play with a small frame. Therefore, I choose the maximum deviation value, which is 3.0. The reason is that if you use a deviation of 3.0, it indicates that it will only use the true reversal pin bar. Wow, with such a recommendation, you must try testing it out. So in summary, I will use a Bollinger Bands period of 50 and a standard deviation of 3 for testing. So let's look at the test results first, and then we'll delve into the trading method. If you're ready, First, I must inform you that I conducted this system test on the gold currency pair using a 15-minute time frame on the TradingView brokers chart. This is a Forex broker with a Tier 1 global license from the UK. Therefore, if you deposit or withdraw funds or invest your money, you can be assured of its safety. Importantly, the average plus commission is very low, making it suitable for short trading. In this video clip, trading on a 15-minute time frame is very suitable, so I recommend it. My main portfolio is also with Tickmill broker. Let's take a look at how I tested this system. From January 2025 until March of the same year, the duration is approximately 3 months. What happened during this time? With a capital of $10,000, a 5% risk to reward ratio of 1.5 times, the vintage is beautiful. The win rate reached 64%. For short trading, the profit over 3 months was 388%, which is quite high. A total of 50 trades were made with 32 wins and only 18 losses. The profit factor soared to 2.67 times. As for the maximum, look closely at this number. It's only as low as 12.44%. You can see that this system has relatively low risk and can turn a very high profit, thanks to ChatGPT. But don't forget that ChatGPT only tells us about the period of the Bollinger Bands and the standard deviation. But it's not over yet, because knowing just this, you still don't know how to determine the entry point, right? And where to place the stop loss. In the next part, you'll find out more. There's no cost involved. If you like it, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any good clips in the next episodes. If you're ready, let's take a look at setting the values first. Today, I have good news for traders who already have an account with Tickmill Broker or are considering opening one. Champion Vintage School has partnered with Tickmill Broker to launch a quality trading signal room, AI Master Signal, which you can use for free. It provides real-time trading signals covering both the gold and Forex markets using the latest AI version that has been tested in real markets. Over 5 years, it has generated a total profit of more than 1,000%. Joining is very easy. Just open an account with Tickmill Broker through the link below the video, deposit $700 and fill out the form to join the signal room. After that, wait for the team to verify and you will be invited to the room immediately. Don't wait too long. Golden opportunities like this don't come often. AI Master Signal is the trading assistant of the future that you can access for free. Let's continue. For setting up the template, as mentioned, we will use the indicators recommended by GPT. I recommend using the BB with a period of 50 and the standard deviation adjusted to 3. Set it up like this to get the Bollinger Bands as recommended by GPT. Next, I have specified that GPT also indicates the percentage required for the Pinbar to be used. The term Pinbar refers to a candlestick that indicates a reversal. Yibo. The body is short and the wicks are long, like in this example. Now we go. I have specified how to determine the body size, indicating how short it should be, as a proportion of the total height of the candlestick. GPT has informed me to use a proportion of 25%. So, to check if the pin bar here, like this one, is 25%, you can draw a Fibonacci line. Before drawing, you might set the 25% level, which is 0.25, representing 25%. After that, you take this Fibonacci line and place it over the pin bar you are questioning. For example, if I suspect that this candlestick is a 25% pin bar, I would stretch it out and measure from 0 to 100 or 0 to 1, whatever the scale is, and then look at the proportion in the 25% zone. Percent is right here. You can see that this candlestick meets the criteria because the body doesn't close above the red line, which is the 25% line. So for example, this is a 25% pin bar pattern that we will use in today's trading strategy. Okay, next will be an example of an uptrend trade. Let's dive into it. The uptrend consists of 4 steps. Let's go through them slowly, step by step. Follow along with me. Step 1, the simplest in an uptrend is I will patiently wait for a candlestick to break through the barrier or touch the lower band. It will be this red candlestick here. And you say, as for the second step, closely following, I will wait for a 25% pin bar to form, which I have already prepared here. In this example, it will be in the form of a bill bar. If we are unsure, measure it by drawing a Fibonacci as I taught earlier. You will see that the body is in the 25% zone. Therefore, this is step 2. As for step 3, it follows, which is I will wait for a candlestick that closes above the body, Or simply put, we want to buy in the case of an uptrend, right? Therefore, we need to wait for a candlestick that has buying pressure pushing it back up. This means the closing price must be higher than the body, or the lower band here. So the best candlestick that can achieve this is this one here. This will be step 3, once we find these 3 steps are all complete. You can proceed to place an order. The final step is step 4, which is placing the order. You will enter at this setup candlestick here, and the stop loss will be placed at the swing low below. The risk-reward ratio is set at 1.5 times. Calculate the risk carefully. I emphasize once again that no matter how good your technique is, it is not as important as managing your risk from the start, because the technique, you won't win 100%. Even if you win 90%, it means you still have losing trades, right? That 10%, if you overtrade and losses occur consecutively, your portfolio will suffer significant losses, correct? Therefore, managing risk or determining risk before entering a trade is crucial. I've emphasized this in every episode. Now it's already 280 episodes. You see, the price surged, holding the order for about 15 minutes per candle. 15 times 2 is 30, just half an hour. This technique can already capture profits. Let's look at another example. It's the same trading method. If you try to see where the pin bar pattern occurs, like here, the first candle, it forms a skill or pokes out, or the brand is complete. The next step, step 2, is I will look for a 25% pin bar, which I anticipate to be this green candle here, short body with a long tail. We won't use guesswork. We won't rely on speculation. We'll use numbers to discuss this, measure it directly, draw the Fibonacci from the top to the bottom. You'll see that this body is in the red zone, which is 25%, right? Therefore, this candlestick is a pin bar at 25%. So there's a chance that after the price drops and encounters a 25% pin bar, it will reverse like this. It's quite high as a win rate of nearly 70%. We've tested it from the beginning to show you. Next, you need to look for a candlestick with a closing price that is higher than the lower band. That means it's the next candlestick, right beside it. Once you've found everything, you can place a buy order at the closing price of our setup candlestick. And this step will set the stop loss at the swing low below with a risk-reward ratio of 1.5 times. This is the same. Successful TP as before. Once again, I believe friends will understand. Now, let's look at a downtrend example. The technique involves trading in a downtrend, which is the opposite of an uptrend. I will wait for a candlestick to break the upper band first, like this. Once it breaks the upper band, I will then wait for a 25% bar to form, but in a bearish pattern or one where the body is near the low. This suggests it might reverse downward. However, as usual, the point is, if we're not sure, we should use the Fibonacci tool to measure. I then measure it like this, indicating that everyone will see it the same way, and there's no need to argue about whether this is a pin bar as I thought or not, because after the measurement is complete, you'll see that the body is in the 25% zone. Therefore, this is a 25% pin bar. The next thing is I will wait for a candlestick with a closing price, right? It should close below the upper band. You'll see that the adjacent bar closes below the upper band. Therefore, the trend is likely to reverse downwards. It's quite high, nearly 70%. We're discussing based on statistics, not on the boastfulness of the instructor. All right? Or not, you can open a sell position right away. It's very easy. In this episode, place the HL at the high above. The RR is 1.5 times. Calculate the risk carefully as well. Manage both the upward and downward trends properly. Okay, here it has already hit the TP. See, this is an example of a downward trade. Here, if you observe closely, this candlestick resembles a bullish pin bar, right? Therefore, I measure it first to be sure. I measured it and it really is a bullish pin bar because the body hasn't broken 25%. But next, the question is whether we can open a buy position immediately. However, the next candlestick, if you observe closely, is red. And how is the closing price? Yeah. The closing price is lower than the brand, okay? And what's important is that it breaks the low of the pin bar, okay? Listen carefully here, if this case occurs. We will not enter the trade and this year best. Why? Because there is a chance that if the low of the pin bar is broken, there is a possibility that it will continue to go down. However, if the current chart shows it going up, it doesn't matter. What matters is, according to the techniques and conditions that I have tested, whenever there is a subsequent candlestick after the pin bar that breaks downward in an uptrend scenario, if we are trading in an uptrend and it breaks the low of the pin bar, we should cancel everything immediately. This is because there is a chance that the chart will go down like this. Therefore, this is something to be cautious about. Okay, I want everyone to take a look at this part. You'll notice that it has already broken through the upper band, right? Therefore, the chart always has the potential to reverse downward. We have to wait until we see a 25% pin bar. But notice here, there is indeed a 25% pin bar that has formed right here. You can measure it. 25% has indeed occurred. However, the point to note is the next candlestick. If we rush to open a sell position immediately, what happens? The price will continue to move, see? You might end up hitting your stop loss, right? My recommendation is not to rush into opening a sell position. Follow the complete steps. Many people misunderstand that as soon as they see a pin bar, they should sell immediately, which is not true. Yishay, I always emphasize that there must be a next step, which is that the closing price must close below the upper band. Here, you'll notice that the closing price is higher than the band. Importantly, I want you to pay close attention to this whenever there is a break. Listen carefully to the high of the pin bar near the This is important. Whenever there is a break of the pin bar's high, such as in this candlestick area, there is a chance that the price will continue to rise. Therefore, if there is a break of the pin bar's high, abandon this trade setup immediately. This is crucial because it helps protect you from losing trades. This is not about looking at examples of profitable trades, but rather a cautionary point. I want you to pay attention to this point. The price moves up and breaks, forming a pin bar, right? But after forming the pin bar, what happens? We need to measure first whether it is a 25% pin bar or not. Don't rush to trade. I then draw the Fibonacci. After drawing the Fibonacci, what do we see? The body is beyond our 25% zone. See? The body exceeds it. If it exceeds like this, the question is, can we open a sell position? The answer is no, right? If you open a position, what happens? Suppose we sell and it goes down smoothly. You feel like, wow, this is perfect. The short position is long, according to the theory, all set. There are 8 Bollinger Bands on top as well. In this case, selling will definitely yield a profit. How is it? All set, right? If there's no stop loss, it gets even worse. Okay? This is an example of a technique, a small trick that is very important. Let's look at another example for better understanding. Imagine you're in a real situation, simulating it like that. And then what happens? The price nudges or flattens, right? Once it nudges, what does the brand do? Check 25%. Everything must be automatic, fully automated. Once the check is complete, how is it? All clear. Once it's all clear, I recommend to my friends, what? Wait for a candlestick that is, how should I say, higher than the previous one. The body or the flat. Therefore, in this case, we trade in an uptrend, right? If you encounter all these components, you can open a buy position right away. Place the HL at the low 5, which is 1.5 times. It has already been closed as well. I hope this episode pleases everyone. This is a short trade course for those who like scalping. Gold is fully provided by ChatGPT. I told you, it's truly an excellent assistant. Anyone who wants to use the method of creating a trading system with the help of ChatGPT can do so. But the important thing is risk management and testing before actual use, because ChatGPT can make mistakes. It doesn't always provide the correct values. I always have to test and experiment again before sharing with everyone. And all of this is the result of using AI as a strategic assistant in trading, proven not to be just theory because it has been back-tested on real charts. Anyone who wants to try this system can set it up like I did. If anyone is interested in opening a trading account with Tick, there's a link below this video. I highly recommend it because for short trades like this, you need a broker that is stable and fast. See you in the next video. Please like and share so you won't miss out on the next great episode. Let's comment and see what else we can have ChatGPT think up for us in other strategies. Okay? For today, I'll take my leave. See you in the next even more exciting episode. Goodbye.